Hi, Jeff again. So now that we're logged in, I just wanted to really quickly point out some of the key changes in the new database. Keep in mind that we're all now logged into the same company file, so we need to be quite careful about how we operate in this one file so as not to get in the way of others. All the activity is merged, all of the vendor accounts are merged, all of the customer accounts are merged, so we have a lot of long lists. So let's quickly look at some of these things. Right now I'm logged in as myself, but I've set myself up to pretend that I am part of the Kazangula Heartland team so you can see what that looks like. First I'm going to go to the chart of accounts. I'll click here, and something you'll notice right off the bat is the chart is much shorter than it used to be. Under assets, I just have all the Livingston cash accounts, Livingston receivables, Livingston employee salary receivables. Under liabilities, I only have liabilities that actually relate to Livingston. Under revenue, I have the one revenue account that Livingston uses, and so on down the line. Now, everyone will have basically all of the expenses. In addition, if I click in here on gross salary, really important change here is that all I can see now is our transactions with the country code LIV. That stands for Livingston. That ensures that we don't all have access to everybody else's work. It just makes life easier all around. So that's a big change. The chart is customized to your own use. Come out of here. Let me go down to payables and look at vendors. To open my vendors list, I'll go to the list itself. And again, you'll notice that I only have vendors that start with LIV. That's a really important change in the system. All the old companies are now, the numbering is basically the beginning of the country code, LIV. So I'm only seeing the Livingston vendors. Now if I wanted to create a new vendor, I could go to the end of my list and hit create. In order to do that, instead of just clicking in name, I'm going to click on the three dots here. This is really important. So it brings up the various number series that goes with this. Now I only have access to Livingston as a Livingston user. So in order to create a new vendor, I need to pick on the vendor-Livingston number series and then say OK. By doing that, I'll create a new vendor. If I pick on any of the others, it'll create a vendor, but I won't actually be able to see it, and it's going to turn into a junk vendor that we clean up. So please be aware of that. That numbering is consistent for bank accounts, it's consistent for company or customers, and for vendors, etc. Let me hit cancel, and let's look at customers. So I'll go into receivables and customers. Pull down this list again, and you see again I have all the numbers and they all start with LIV. There are lots more customers in the database than just this list. DC has customers and Nairobi, etc. But as a Livingston Kazangula user, I can't see those, and that's very important. So again, if I wanted to create a new vendor, I go to the end, I'll say new. In order to do this, I need to click on the ... and I have to pick the number series that I use. So here's customer live, I would say OK, and it will create a new customer for me. Come out of here and we'll look at one more thing. Let's look at bank accounts. So I'll go cash management and bank accounts. Now as you can imagine, again, there are a lot of bank accounts in the system, but as a Kazangula user I only have access to 4, and that's really important. So that's one big change, is that the lists are limited, the views are customized, and you have to pay attention to number series when you're creating new vendors. If you have any questions about that, please let me know.